Welcome everybody to the second and last part of this little series about stock photography and how to implement your own stock photo store on your website using Wix, which is sponsoring this and the previous video. Now, if you haven't seen the previous video, you should definitely check it out because it was all about creating the actual store, how to design it, how to add it on the website, and I showed you all of this there. And now it's already functional, working, beautiful. But today I want to show you the back end, how to use the licensing, prices, all about the payment options, how to be found on Google using SEO, and at the end I'm even going to go back to the stock photo page and make it look even better in a very short amount of time. So again, if you haven't seen the first video, then this one won't make that much sense to you. Anyways, let's go here into my editor of Wix, and again we're on the starting page. I'm gonna go back into my stock photos page. So this is my main page where I can click on something and then go into the sub pages with the actual images. And the first thing I want to talk about is licenses. So what you can do is go into the settings of any of these Wix art stores that you've added previously. Go into the store tab, click on set pricing, and you will have the option to adjust the licenses. So by default, you have a commercial and extended license. You can set the prices differently for each gallery, or you can also have different kind of licenses enabled and disabled for each gallery. So let's say you would have some really cool, awesome pictures. You want to charge more for them. You can put that into a separate gallery and then charge more, have a separate license. And that way you can really organize everything and make it very customizable. So for example, here I just set the price to $4.99 for WebReady. WebReady is just a lower resolution at 1200 pixels wide. So if somebody doesn't need the full resolution, they can just buy that for a lower price. You can also disable that if you just want to sell the full resolution file, or disable the original file size if you don't want to give away the full resolution of a specific file. Then you also have an extended use license by default, which you can also enable or disable. And that gives the licensor more options, more rights, so you probably want to charge a bit more there. And then you can even manage your own licenses, add a custom license. Now, a lot of people will probably want to do editorial license as well with the regular license, because the regular license is right here. It means that the picture that you're actually licensing has to be commercially licensable, because if you have logos or faces of people that you don't have a model release for, you cannot sell these commercially, so you would have to make your own editorial license. For me personally, most of my stock photos are commercial anyways, and it's really not worth it for me to make a specific editorial license just for a few pictures. But you can certainly do that. You can add all of the text yourself. Of course, you can also look online for some help. But for the commercial and extended one, Wix actually has a full license already prepared, which is really cool to have. So you can read through this. You can also change it according to your needs or wants and add that in your settings. But just be mindful of the licenses. Don't just have non-commercial pictures and sell them as commercial. You really should look into this yourself and do some research online to make sure you're on the safe side. Okay, so that's the license. Now let's move on to payment information. Now with Wix, people can pay with either PayPal or with credit card. Personally, I only have PayPal because you can check out through PayPal and still pay with credit card. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. You want to go here on the store option of the settings in the gallery itself, then go on setup payments in the third category, and that way you can just link your PayPal account. Now here we have the little overview of the orders, licenses. Here's also where you could create another custom one, add a license agreement file, or just write it in there. And then I want to go into settings and actually go into the payment information. So accepted payments, we have payment methods, PayPal, and you can see I already have that because I used to sell presets and prints before that. But if you don't have it set up, just go to manage account, add your PayPal email, and then you will have to verify some stuff with PayPal and Wix, and then it's pretty much done. So it's really simple to do. You could also add a second option, which goes to checkout, which processes credit cards separately. But again, you can also do that through PayPal if somebody doesn't have a PayPal account, so it's not really that big of a deal. Now, thirdly, let's talk about something also very important, which is search engine optimization. If you have your pictures out there, you really need to have them found on Google. And the way you can do that is by going into the Pages Manager. Then you can, right next to each of these pages, you can click on the little three dots and go to SEO and Social. And that will take you to a little extension where you have all of the info, how your site is going to look like on Google. You could go into the SEO Wiz to have a further look at your whole site. But what I'm going to do here is just add some keywords for the actual page itself. And here what's asking is what's the page's title on search result or browse tabs. So you can just add your own title, let's say quality stock photos, landscapes and nature. And then up there you can see how that would look like on Google. Now, what's the page about? Add a description. That way also Google has more information. You can add a description, just a sub-description. Also it shows right here the little preview. And then down here you can also keyword the site, something like that. Then you could even do some advanced stuff, but personally I'm completely fine with that. But what I'm gonna do is just adjust the actual URL of the website. So it goes yurifiner.com/stock landscapes, for example. Then let's go to actual pricing and talk about that. Now, by default, Wix has $10 for the regular license and $15 for the full resolution license. Now, what you want to set the pricing as is completely up to you. You can go for really cheap, like some other third-party websites. What I'm going to charge is $4.99 for the smaller version and $9.99 for the full resolution. For me, I think that's a fair price. However, this is mostly stock photos. So if I would go somewhere and shoot something super amazing and I want to save that for exclusive license on my website, I might charge a lot more. So number 5 is the last topic, which is actually keywording. Now, you can't specifically keyword every photo individually, but what you can do is just add them into the description. Personally, I just have a title for an image, like let's just make this up, something like that. And then in description, you could further describe your picture, but since I never do that anyways, I would just paste in some keywords here. And even though it doesn't have a specific keyword section, it's still good to have all of this information online. It doesn't hurt it. And a lot of times if you have it on different stock photo websites, then you will have the keywords anyway. So might as well just add them. What's more is that you can actually go into the settings right here in the text icon. Instead of having a description, I just uncheck that box. Now nobody will see it, but it's still there in the background. And let's actually speak about design a little bit, because you can customize all sorts of stuff. You can customize the buy now button, you can enable it, disable it. But what I'm gonna do here real quick is just disable social sharing, because I don't think many people are gonna share stock photos on social media anyways. And I'm also gonna disable the heart counter, because again, this is a business page. This is for people who wanna license a picture, and it's not so much about social sharing for me personally. And I think it looks a lot cleaner that way. And I usually don't like watermarks on my regular pictures, but since these are stock photos, I would recommend you to add the watermark, even though Wix automatically compresses the photos for the preview. So they keep it separate from preview to the actual stored file in the background, but I still like to have watermarks for my stock photos. So what I want to do is just customize it. And I've already uploaded a customizable watermark, which is just a PNG. So essentially you just want to have like copyright at your name and then add it to the page. And what I'm going to do is actually just kind of in the middle, make it a bit bigger, and then the opacity just way down. You could also have, depending on how scared you are, you can of course have 100% opacity, make it super big. But for me, small and very low opacity makes it work. That way nobody's just gonna take the picture and walk away with it. And that should actually automatically update to the whole gallery right here. Let's see. Did it, and if I go into the preview and I click on it, it should also show the watermark in full resolution. Okay, perfect. And now, as a very last thing, what I want to talk about is the actual design of the website. I did it very quick in the last video in just about 10 or 15 minutes. But what I want to do just real quick is change something on the main page. Of course, if you would spend like half an hour or an hour here, you could really make it look super stunning. But For this video, it's mostly about showing you the functionality of it, how to do stuff, rather than focusing on the styling. However, what I'm going to do here real quick is change the page background and choose my own image. One of the reasons also I'm doing this is just to show you how fast and simple it is to change something like that. So let's choose this Scottish landscape right here, have it be in the background, and I want the opacity to be very, very light. And then I can just double click in the middle right here and have kind of a, I guess, sort of a transparent middle ground. And perhaps I'm even going to customize it to reduce the background opacity a little bit. Also going to change the whole font to, let's go with Helvetica. That looks really good as well. So I'm just going to change all of these real quick to Helvetica. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to add a link to the text. So right now I've added a link in a previous video of the images to the actual gallery. So if I go on landscape nature, I click on the picture, it will take me to the actual gallery of the art store with all of the photos that I can actually license. However, I want to do that also with the text. So just in case somebody clicks on the text, it will also link them to that specific gallery. And that's, again, super easy to do. Just go and link here, stock video landscapes, current window, that's done. And remove the little underline that it does automatically. And now all of the text is linked as well to a respective gallery. But what I want to show you real quick is I have edited all of this and I saved it, but I haven't published it yet. That means the yurifineart.com website should just look like the old one before I published it. So we have the drop down menu here, stock photos, and you can see this is kind of the first version of the whole page. And now I'm gonna go back and click on publish, give it a second. This is real time, there's no cutting here. And I'm gonna reload that and hopefully it should be live. And it is. So you can see how fast it is, and now the text is linked as well. Wix is much more than just a tool to build a stock photo or a portfolio. You can do all of these things combined, whether it be for your portfolio, for your stock photos, for your prints, for your Lightroom presets, for your contact information, for bookings, for anything at all, or all of these combined. Wix is the place to do it. So check out the link in the video description below or go to wix.com/yurifineart and build your own website. It's actually free for the basic plan forever, so you can just try it out. And then if you like it, you can very easily adapt to the bigger plans as you need. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to be back with a Lightroom video in the next one. Now I have my own stock photo store on my website. That's really cool. All right, bye guys.